Hello everyone, today's lesson is Lesson 7, Reading, Writing, and Estimating Time to the Nearest Minute and Second, and then identifying the relationship between seconds, minutes, and hours, and then identifying AM and PM. So when we measure time, we tend to use a calendar or a clock. To measure short amounts of time, we use a clock. A clock with hands is called an analog clock. Okay. Or we call it a conventional clock. Okay. So the long hand is called the minute hand. And the short hand is called the hour hand. The direction the hands move on the clock is called clockwise, and it always moves in this direction. Each time the minute hand moves around the clock face, 1 hour has passed. Okay, so there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, and we're going to count by fives to check because each of these numbers represents 5 minutes. Okay, so let's just double check. Start with the 12, we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So there, in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Okay, so we use the abbreviation HR for hour and MIN for minute. Okay. Now, each day, the hour hand moves clockwise around the clock face twice. So over time, this minute hand would start at 12 and move all the way around once and then twice before we get to a new day. So 1 day equals 24 hours. So a new day begins at 12 o'clock midnight. Okay. At 12 o'clock noon, the day is half over. So to show that the time is between midnight and noon, we use the abbreviation AM. AM stands for ante-meridiem, which means before noon. It's a Latin term. And then the abbreviation for noon to midnight would be PM, which means post-meridiem, which means afternoon in Latin. Okay. When it's noon, I can just say that it is either 12 o'clock noon, or I can say that it's 12 o'clock p.m. All right, so here I've got my clock set for a certain time. If it's afternoon, what time does it show? So we look, the hour hand is in between the 1 and the 2, so I know it's 1 o'clock. And then the minute hand is pointing to the 6. So I know that this is saying that it is 1:30. If we're in the afternoon, I would say that it is 1:30 p.m. Okay. And this is how I'd write the digital time. And we use a colon to separate the hour and minutes. A clock that shows the time using only digits is called a digital clock. All right, so here we have this time. If it's light outside, what time is it? Well, my hour hand is pointing to the 11, and my minute hand is pointing to the 6, because the one is 5 minutes, so the next one over would be 6 minutes. So it's 11:06. Now, if it's in the morning, we would say that it is 11:06 a.m., because 11:06 p.m. would be at night. We always use 2 digits to show the number of minutes. So I don't just put 11:06. We always say it's 11:06. Okay. All right. So now I have this time, and it's dark outside. So what would the digital time be? Well, my hour hand is pointing between the 2 and the 3, so I know it's got to be 2 o'clock. And then the minute hand is pointing to the 7, so that means it is 2:35. Since it's dark outside, I know it has to be 2:35 a.m. because if it was 2:35 p.m., it would be in the afternoon and there would be sun out. What about, okay. All right, so now I have 10:40 a.m. and I want to show this on my clock. So 5:40 a.m. I would have the hour hand pointing between the 5 and the 6, and the minute hand pointing to the 8. Okay, because that would be 5:40 a.m. All right, what about 12:28 p.m.? Well, my minute hand would be close to the middle, or my hour hand, I mean, and my minute hand would be at the 28. So it would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. All right, let's practice with 6:09. So I would have my hour hand pointing at the 6, and my minute hand's going to go to the 9. So we go 5, 10, so that's too far. So it'll be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's try 3:57 a.m. So my hour hand's going to be really close to the 4 because 57 is almost to the end of the hour. And then my minute hand's going to point to the 57. So we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. So here we have 3:57 a.m. All right. So have you ever watched a sports game? Sometimes like football or basketball on TV. There are shorter amounts of time than minutes, and these are called seconds. Sometimes when you're watching a game, a football or basketball game, there's a small box in the corner of the television screen that tells us how much time is left in the game, or part of the game. The numbers in the box tell us the number of minutes and seconds that are left. A second is a very short amount of time. On a conventional clock, the second hand is often shown in red. It's usually a red line, okay? A red hand. When the second hand travels around the clock face from the 12 and back to the 12, it's been 1 minute. Okay? So if I was to show this, okay, my second hand would start at the 12 and it would go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Okay, and it would go all the way around, and that would be 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute equals 60 seconds. We use the abbreviation MIN to show minutes, and the S is the abbreviation for seconds. Okay, it takes us about 1 minute it takes us about 1 second to say each number. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, if we wanted to, let's say, walk around the classroom, maybe it would take us not very long. So when we write digital time with seconds, we start with the hour, then the minutes, and then the seconds. So if the time is 8:17, and I was seeing how long it would take someone to walk around the classroom, this would mean it took them 35 seconds. Because this last number, it would be the seconds. Okay? On this one, this is saying that it is 6:42 and 17 seconds. Okay, we go hour, minute, and then seconds. Okay, and that's it for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.